welcome to the newly named Endless Boxing Universe, which is EBU, which references the European Belt and also references the European Broadcasting Union, which are in charge of Eurovision, which I'm boycotting this year. Fuck Israel. Anyway, I've just alienated half of one. How can you half one?
Really popular in Gaza.
What?
You're really popular in Gaza.
Good. I'm sure Israel have left them with their internet connections, considering they took their hospitals. But anyway, back to boxing. Jesus Christ. How did we get onto that so quickly?
2 seconds. There we go.
That's like a record, even for me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, if any ladies are here. But anyway, this evening, we're going to discuss the weekend's boxing. And this weekend, it comes live from Tokyo, Liverpool, and Orlando, Florida. So, 2 really cool places, and Orlando, Florida. Right, boys. So, we're going to start off in Tokyo. And big in Japan is Inoue, but it's not my Inoue. It's the other one. So, what have you got there on Santi? Oh, well, sorry. Inoue.
Ancajas.
There you go. Thank you.
Okay.
Ancajas.
Filipino.
Yes, I see his little Filipino flag.
Yeah, I whenever I hear his name, I think of South America straight away. But
So do I.
Filipino.
I would definitely put him in, Mexico.
Yeah.
Because,
I remember
and his fighting style.
I remember watching him when he won his title, and I was like, "Holy shit, this guy is amazing!" And I can't remember. He was dog shit in a couple of fights that I saw, and I haven't really seen him since.
He's been hot and cold.
Yes, he's very hot and cold, and I fancy Inoue to get his consistency. I think Ancajas is on the other side. I think the best version of Ancajas would beat the best version of it's Takumi Inoue, isn't it?
Yes, that
it
is
begins
correct.
with a T. I don't know how it's pronounced, but
yeah, I'm going to go with your pronunciation because unless French, I'm not very good. Apparently, I'm very good at French pronunciation, but not.
Monsieur Dupont.
Oui, bien sûr, d'accord.
But what we're hoping for.
Bonsoir, Europe. Can we have your votes, please? I was born for that. But not this year.
This should have been a Eurovision thing, shouldn't it? But not this year.
But
yeah, I reckon Inoue's much more consistency. I think Ancajas is on the way down, and so I expect Inoue to kind of grind it out in a very classic kind of fight that we're getting from Japan at the minute, which is like a 116, 112 sort of decision in a really, really good fight. That's what I expect.
Yeah, if it was anything like the fight we were treated to on, was it New Year's Day?
The Ioka one?
Yes.
Yes, it was phenomenal.
Absolutely. I still think it was the wrong decision.
New Year's in Japan is just brilliant, though.
It really is. It really is. I mean, on Boxing Day, we just had the King just cement his position at number 1 that even the most ardent Crawford fan outside of the US could agree that Inoue is number 1. Within the US, apparently, he doesn't fight enough in the US, even though he's fought there 5 times, and US fighters have fought outside the US very little, unless there's a big money for them in the Middle East. But so what way have you got that fight, Luke?
Yeah, I think Inoue is going to chip away and just bag the rounds up. I don't think there's going to be a stoppage. He can't punch like his namesake, but he's really active. I think he throws like 50, 60 punches around consistently. So I just think he's going to bag the rounds. And Ancajas, has he got one more good night left in him? I don't know, because like Adam says, he is hot and cold. But it's going to be good. It's going to be an action-packed fight, that's for sure. And again, another Inoue on the top of the bantamweight division.
Absolutely. And Katy Perry would have issues with him because he blows hot and cold. He's yes and he's no.
Tune.
He's up and he's down.
Tune. That was an absolute tune, hot and cold. A classic.
It was, because I went to see Katy Perry and I only knew 2 of her songs and all the rest of them.
And then we have my second favorite Japanese fighter on the card as well. Mr.
Yes,
Nakatani.
Let's get to that now, but move on.
Oh, sorry, and
No, Lannerai.
so Mr. Nakatani, the knockout of the year 2023,
Absolutely, you did
Which-
call it.
which
Yeah.
he gained in January 23,
Yes.
which is
Yeah,
just mental.
literally straight away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, look, I expect him to maybe not get knockout of the year again, but I do expect him to win by knockout. He's tall, he's awkward, he can punch. And again, on home soil, you know, the Japanese seem to be really getting behind him as well, which is great. And that knockout last year can only do good for business for him.
Yeah.
So hopefully he gets another big KO again. I think he will get another knockout mid to late.
Yeah, I adore Nakatani. Like Nakatani is the best fighter in Japan that isn't called Inoue. That's how good he is, and he
And
does.
he's better than one of the Inoues.
Well, yes,
I think so.
But this is.
Yeah,
I believe this
because
will
when you
be.
said that, it kind of puts him third, and I want to let people know he's second.
He's second.
Not
yeah.
Naoya,
I think this
anyway.
is not Naoya. So I think this is his third or fourth weight class in terms of like the title he's going for. So the guy he's fighting, Alejandro Santiago. So he's the guy. This is a bit personal now because he's the guy that beat Donaire last year for the vacant WBC title.
Oh, I remember that. That was a horrible fight. I didn't like
And
that.
you could just see Donaire get old, and he was good and he's solid. And so I think he's a very good fighter. I think Nakatani's special.
I think Nakatani would be well able from given how kind of Donaire lasted, you know, and Donaire was a shadow of his former glorious self, you know. So
I'll be impressed if he gets the stoppage because Santiago's lost 3 times and hasn't been stopped. And he's fought the likes of, well, once BoxRec kind of decides there, but he's fought Guy Russell Jr. I remember that one as well.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of other losses just much earlier on in his career. So really the big one is the Guy Russell fight.
Yeah.
So I fancy Nakatani to get himself a stoppage here as well, to be fair. Late stoppage for Juto Nakatani. Oh, we've lost Luke.
And Luke seems to have gone for an early bath, but
I'm back.
I said early stoppage, but I went with a soccer reference.
I got a phone call there. I got an early phone call. So it went silent on me, so I had to just go out of it.
Is this a boxing Enos Boxing Universe exclusive?
No.
Oh,
Eddie's phoning him to tell him. By the way, we've got the Warwick.
Not Eddie. He's fighting in Belfast. Eddie'd have him fighting in fucking Monaco or somewhere boring in a ballroom with nobody there. Oh no, wait, that's only for his Welsh wizard. Yep.
No, Mike.
But yes, we all have Nakatani by stoppage, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, and well, I mean, absolutely. I'd love to see it, and I think I will. So yeah, why not? And by the way, Sky Sports, show this damn bloody card. You've got the ESPN rights. You're allowed to show it. So show it.
Stop not showing things in Japan, making it difficult for us.
But like
11 a.m. I think it starts tomorrow.
Shit on your 12 channels. Show decent boxing. Like I couldn't give a crap. I mean, Boxer, they're hopeless. The only reason anyone that watches boxing on that is for your top rank contract, because Boxer is dreadful.
Well, in fairness to Boxer though, this card coming up at the end of March is some
Bad
card.
Blood.
Yeah,
Bad Blood looks good. That's a good card. I like that a lot.
If I had the money, I'd be going to it. Genuine.
Jesus, that's a Taylor Swift reference. Bad Blood.
Yes, there we go. Both of us were dead confused.
Yeah, sure, Jan. You've got fucking Taylor Swift on your wall.
I love Taylor Swift.
I actually don't like Taylor Swift.
I like Taylor Swift. Big fan.
I like a bit of Taylor.
Yeah, we tried to get tickets to see Murrayfield, but I wasn't prepared to get a mortgage for it.
No. That's only reserved for the very echelons of like, you know, well, she cancelled on me twice, but Celine Dion, yeah, I'd remortgage the house for her.
For Celine?
Yes.
My only remaining knowledge of Celine is she did the Deadpool theme tune from the last.
Okay. She also won the Eurovision for Switzerland in Ireland in 1988. There you go.
I actually only watched Deadpool 2 the other day again.
That's a great movie. Really good fun. Really good fun. Anyway, what's the third fight on the card?
Yeah, well, as soon as I just push back my Okay, it's decided now. It's going to be.
It's going to misbehave.
Why do you do this?
Speaking of, there's only one fighter this weekend. I'm gonna segue into the other one I'm interested in for there. There's one fighter this weekend that I like as much as Nakatani, and that's on the undercard of one of the other ones we're going to talk about, and that is Mr. Andy Cruz is finally back out.
Yes.
Oh, the only
That's
prospect,
twice in 2 months, isn't it?
Yeah, the only he took 6 bloody months because apparently there was a contractual issue where he sued his joint promoter that wasn't Matchroom, and now he's back out because he was right back. He was in December, so he's great to see Andy Cruz keeping active, and I expect.
And I'll allow you to pronounce his Mexican opponent.
Let's get Andy Cruz's opponent up.
Zama. People say it's worth a lot in Scrabble. It's worth nothing in Scrabble because proper nouns are not allowed.
The only thing,
Rodriguez.
That bugs me when people say, "Oh, that's worth loads in Scrabble." It's worth nothing in Scrabble. It's a proper noun.
It's Rodriguez.
Learn the rules.
The only gripe I have with Cruz at the moment is, and it's not a diss on him at all because he's so skillful, is I think no matter what level he boxes at, you're guaranteed a decision.
Well, he stopped his last guy.
Yeah, but he's not spiteful, is he?
I don't think. But the thing is, I don't think he has that. I think he's very much.
He's in the Stevenson kind of mold, is he?
Yeah, he was such a good amateur. He's not a. He was never a punch through. He won't punch through you. He knows that's what he is. So
I think so it is very much like Stevenson. Top amateurs.
He's going to chop.
Seem to have that killer punch.
Like I give Stevenson one thing. He's not the big. Like Stevenson's not a big puncher, but he is spiteful. I think Stevenson does try and punch holes in you.
Well,
whether he can or not.
His last fight was anything but spiteful.
Oh, that last fight was dreadful. I watched that live. I do not defend that fight whatsoever.
I suffered, so you didn't have to.
So I think with Cruz, it'll be because he places it so well, and if he learns top to bottom, basically Cruz needs to learn what Bivol never did, which is to invest in the body and vary the pace up in the way that Bivol doesn't do quite as much. He'll get stoppage. Yeah,
Bozy Ennis is very good.
So he's got a great system around him, and I expect Andy to look really good. I'm very intrigued to see how he's going to get a title shot. I cannot see. They're going to have to fork out an absolute fortune to get him a title shot around those weight classes.
The only way he's getting one is an IBF.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. As the IBF are the only one who put him in there and make him fight for it.
Yeah, well, the IBF clear out their, they make their champions fight. They don't sit on it like WBC. Yeah. Suleiman just is a joke at this stage.
So the card in Liverpool. You said Liverpool.
Well, we're in Orlando now. Let's stick with the Orlando card.
Fair. We'll stick with that. So
consistency.
Because
are we excited for the main event?
Given the fact it's an Irishman, why not?
A puncher's chances there.
It does nothing for me at this point. Berlanga is just we've talked about this. Berlanga is a very, very expensive investment for Matchroom that they are waiting to cash out on. It's like one of those stocks that you're like, right, it's already done that, but we're expecting this, and we're trying to just get that last little dip up before we set.
He's probably Puerto Rico's biggest star other than Serrano.
Xander Zayas.
I would say Xander Zayas as well, and if I hear any Xander Zayas slander, I would ban people, because somebody on Twitter yesterday said Xander Zayas was a hype job. I was like, hold my purse.
Zayas, yeah, he's a good player.
I don't think he's bigger, but I think he's better, and then in the long run, Xander will be bigger.
Xander will be bigger and better.
There was another Puerto Rican one I saw. The guy Matchroom just signed, Matthias,
yeah.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican as well.
He's a beast.
He's an animal.
But that's what you want, and I think that's what Matchroom, they seem to have abandoned the United Kingdom.
The depth at 140 is crazy.
It's nuts. The fight I would like is Lopez. That's the fight I want to see.
What if Josh Taylor looks good against Catterall? I
was going to say, can we just briefly segue into Josh Taylor Catterall? Sold out today, unsurprisingly. It was always going to sell out.
Yeah. It is very much a case of, can Josh make that weight? Now, I thought
Why
you
are
have
you going
my
40?
money. I thought Castro won the first fight, and nothing Josh has done since has particularly impressed me to make me think he wins the second fight.
I just think that now I obviously did give Josh the first
Mm.
fight, and I stand over that. I'm with Doug Fisher on this, and tough shit. He's the Ring magazine editor, and
No,
so-
and dreadful. Doug is great, but his scorecards are awful.
shh.
Luke's
Anyway.
gone away in protest.
Luke's trying to find a signal. But anyway, Luke, you had Catterall winning the first one as well. Did you
I
have
did.
him winning by much though?
Yeah, I had him up 8-4 plus a knockdown.
I had 115, 111, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, I
So
only had.
mine would have been 116,
I
111.
just thought Catterall was very scrappy and very not,
It wasn't a good fight to
oily.
watch.
No.
It was dreadful. It was absolutely shocking. That's why.
And that's
Yeah.
the double southpaw curse as well.
Yeah, don't put. Yeah, it's a very classic. Classic one.
Actually, that was clever. If you're a southpaw fighting a southpaw, switch to orthodox and don't tell them.
You let them in for free and you charge them to leave. That's what you do with two southpaws. It's that simple.
Jam has just come in. I had Jack 7 rounds to 5. Okay.
Yeah.
You're bad.
Who got the point taken off? There was a knockdown or a point.
It was Catterall got a point deducted as far as I'm concerned.
I vaguely
He was
remember that.
spoiling all night. So I would have taken a point earlier. And I'm no fan of the Scotsman, so it's not bias.
No, it's just the way you scored it. That's
No,
you're
but
entitled to your opinion.
and do you know, and this is really funny, do you know what really annoyed me about it is the Speaker of the House in the United Kingdom, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, has taken up fucking Jack's case. And I'm like, this guy's a moron. And he proved it during the week in his handling of the Gaza debate. So if Lindsay Hoyle is in your corner, fuck off.
I know. It's like having Doug Fisher agree with your scorecard.
Ooh, bitchy.
But yeah, look, I'm just glad they're getting on.
Yeah, it needs. It's past its sell-by date, but it needs to get done.
Like all Matchroom shows, it's usually well past its sell-by date and sold as something it really isn't.
But I want the winner of that gets the title. I mean, Jack's due a title shot. This is the thing. Like the thing is, I'll be rooting for. Of course, I'll be rooting for Taylor, but he's not showing.
I hope Taylor fucking smashes his head in.
I hope the best man wins.
I love it. What was I going to say?
Don't get any fucking splinters sitting on that fence there, Luke.
I know, but genuinely, I do not care who wins. Genuine.
Sorry.
I thought Jack deserved the first one.
The only reason I want Taylor to win is to shut the English up because they're Carol got robbed. You can't get robbed if it's a close decision. You can't get robbed if you're spoiling half the fight. It wasn't a clear victory for Catterall by any stretch of the imagination, even though it somehow snowballed into that in the days after it.
I mean,
the way I looked at it, see, rounds can be close, but if you're consistently winning them, the fight's not close, and that's
the way the system works.
That's just the way it is.
Well, me as an amateur judge, if rounds are close, I'm not going to keep consistently giving every round to the same fighter because that skews the score. You know.
But if that fighter is getting the best of those close rounds, you have to give it to them.
But then it's not close. It's either clear or it's close. See, maybe we're using different terminology for what we agree is, if you cannot pick, if there isn't a definite winner of a round, I'm not always going to give it to the same fighter. That's not fair, and that's bias. Because you've agreed. You've said it's not clear, and but you're still picking the same fighter each time.
I think you mean competitive.
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
So it's competitive in that the rounds are closely contested, but if there's a clear winner in close competitive rounds, the fight ends up.
There's a clear winner, but I don't think anyone could say there was a clear winner in those rounds in Catterall versus Taylor because some of them were just dreadful,
Yeah. So Andy Clark made a good point, and he basically said this was about the Lopez Ortiz fight, which is in America they're doing this kind of big hullabaloo why you have to bring the fight, you can't run away. But it's all about effective aggression, which is like you don't get points for simply just walking forward if when you get walked in forward, the guy punches you in the face and you don't land anything.
Yeah, and that's the other point. Just because you're throwing punches and they're not landing, they ain't scoring.
Well,
No,
yeah, if they don't land, they
doesn't
don't
count.
score.
Because then you're punishing a guy for being very good defensively. You know? So this nonsense, oh, he was the busy doing nothing, you know? The other guy was very good at stopping his punches, parry, block. That's it. If you're blocking those punches, you're winning that round for me because he's not doing what he should be and you're doing what you should be. Anyway, let's go what Jam says. I think Josh Taylor actually schools Catterall. Very good. I like Jam again. He's not going to take him lightly. Exactly. Also, the fight sold out in 2 hours, so people are interested in this. Well,
it's in an arena in Leeds, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So,
Why?
I mean, it's in an arena, I'd say it holds about 7,000 people, I'd say.
He didn't want London, and then they wanted to do it in Liverpool, but then Jack said, oh no, that's where he trains. That's basically home for him. And then it was all, okay, where can we put it? So they put it in Leeds.
Do you know what? There's a lovely venue that's 15 minutes down the road from me that would have been great for it.
Edinburgh Castle?
No, the Hydro in Glasgow.
Oh, yeah, you live in Glasgow. Sorry, I forgot.
I'd love it. The castle, if Josh or Lee or somebody doesn't fight in the castle, it's such a wasted opportunity at the end of the Fringe. That's just something that needs to happen.
Yeah, like Belfast have the Féile, you know. I mean, I've been to the Fringe Festival. Shout out to my good friend Terry O'Neill, former boxer, and he's a great stand-up comedian set. And I actually went over especially to see his show. Well, and also Bianco Del Rio, but let's not discuss drag queens on a boxing show. But yeah, no, he did, and I also and I love Edinburgh, by the way.
Yeah, beautiful city.
Lovely city.
It's an amazing city. And Royal Mile. The only thing I don't like is those bloody cannons, because even though I know they're going off, they still...
Hold on. You're a gunner. You don't get to not like cannons.
Jesus Christ, that's very...
tenuous.
Authoritarian of you.
Yes.
You know? I thought we were all about free speech and free expression. No, because the cannons, because of my anxiety, even though I know they're coming, they still scare the shit out of me. So I jumped like a mile. Even though I knew it was 1 o'clock and I knew they were going off, I still jumped like an idiot.
Yeah, it does that to me every time I'm there as well. Right, what's the other one? We've got Berlanga,
Paris and Butler.
Well, no, we're going to finish Orlando. Because, we did say McCrory really didn't stand a chance. Yeah. Sorry. Right. That's Orlando covered.
He's been brought in to lose. There's the long and the short of it.
I mean, he's been brought in to lose. It's like when all the British fighters or the English fighters were brought for Canelo by Matchroom. They seem to be fighting Irish fighters for Berlanga to fight.
Yeah. Because it sells in New York.
Exactly. I mean, that's why, I mean, I'm good friends with Jason Quigley and all that, but he was there to sell tickets and he knew as much himself. But I'm not good friends with him, but I know him. Like, I'm not, sorry, I don't mean to over-exaggerate.
I'm sure he came to win, though. He fought his heart out that night.
He did, but
it was just never going to happen.
You can know the rule you've been brought in for, but you're still there to try and...
Oh, yeah, no, like, I don't believe
he was thrown.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you please stand in front of that fucking light? Thank you.
That's his halo.
That's it.
Yeah. You can see it all over your face.
Praise be to Jurgen.
Oh, Jurgen's dying. Bye-bye, Jurgen.
Towards the light, Adam.
Yeah. And Jabi said no.
I don't think anyone said no yet.
Oh, Jabi said no.
But yes, Liverpool.
Yeah.
This is a good
start.
Yeah,
speaking of Liverpool, let's talk about boxing at the M&S Bank Arena.
I'm surprised it's there, to be honest.
I'm shocked it's there.
I'd say it's because they had the venue booked, so they just stuck it in it.
Is there any smallish venues in Liverpool, I wonder, where you'd sit like 2,500 people? Probably is.
But you can do wonders with curtains. Didn't they do it for the wonderful Anthony Joshua in his last his last outing? was
In O- in the O2.
The M&S is a really good arena. Like I've been there like for a few.
The only thing I don't like about bloody M&S Arena is that they have no luggage storage, and what are you supposed to do with your luggage?
And
You
it's
can
now
leave
called
it.
the Echo.
Oh, you were
in
there.
Wembley.
You were there very recently, Enda. Sure.
I was there very recently, and Liverpool are the nicest people in the world, and I love the city, but by Jesus, get some fucking 24-hour luggage storage.
But yeah, this fight was a flyweight British title or super flyweight?
Yeah. It's let's get this up. It is for the British Box Motor Control, British Flyweight, Commonwealth, and European Flyweight title.
Is it the EBU or is it
EBU? It's the proper one.
It is the real one, the EBU, like Enda's Boxing Universe.
But it's.
I think it's a good fight.
I thought Jay was done. I thought he was finished after the. Like he obviously lost to Martinez. I thought he was good in that fight. Came back and won, but then he was knocked out twice in a row against good fighters. I thought Jay was finished. And the win over Tommy Frank has just catapulted him straight back. And this is huge.
Harris seemed to jump levels very quick.
Yeah.
And I think that's...
There was a
moment.
moment.
I remember him, was it about 4 years ago? And... you know, he was up and coming, and then all of a sudden he was fighting the guys. Like, you know. Yeah.
So he just looking at his box regs, he just like straight away is like 5-1, 4-1, 5-0, 6-2, and then he fights Thomas Asomba, who is absolutely brilliant, and then suddenly that's it. He's up, and he's fighting for titles and stuff like that.
Asomba is managed by Sonny Edwards, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mad.
I saw him fight Lee McGregor years ago, and he was just such a tough bastard. But I forgot he beat Paddy Barnes.
Yeah,
he did. I forgot about that fight.
People who beat Paddy Barnes is fairly long.
Poor Paddy just left it too long getting into the pros.
Yeah, he was done by the time he was.
No, I just think he was limited, and you know,
too much mileage and can't punch.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was very much like Michael Connolly. He thought he was a puncher when he just isn't.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a boxer. Box. Stop getting
in
fights you can't win.
He had the perfect 3-round style, but you just can't. In the pros, you just can't. It's not sustainable.
It's the physicality, isn't it? I think that's the problem.
But I suppose his extracurricular activities didn't lend himself to a professional boxer.
Very possibly as well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have. You need a disciplined lifestyle. I always say boxing's a discipline. And if you're not disciplined, you ain't going anywhere.
And these boys making flyweight, they're definitely disciplined.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've not seen Conor fight.
No, I haven't either. But I presume this is just put on a plate for him, like.
Well, the thing is, Conor's undefeated. He's 11 wins, 1 draw. The draw came as a cut in the second round of one of his earlier fights.
Yeah,
he's fought. There's no one on his resume that jumps out at me.
No.
Like, so I think, basically, based on reading box rec, which is a pretty shit way to predict a fight.
Not necessarily.
Fight, but we're going to go with, I would pick Jay based on power and experience at the higher level.
I have the same. I pick him as well. I think he could win by stoppage.
Yeah.
Because he's fought at those levels.
It's levels above this. I was just looking through it, and like his last opponent.
So you're backing Jay over Conor?
Yes.
Wow.
Even like if you even look at Thomas Asomba, he's probably not far off British level or Commonwealth level.
Thomas is a really good fighter. Really good. The guys he gave hell.
Do you know? So if this is Butler's first kind of proper challenge, then.
Yeah, this is a big step up.
Yeah, this is a step up from, you know, it's for the British title. But anyway,
he fought for the European title in the last fight.
Yeah, but
is the British vacant?
No, because there was no vacant British holders. So one of them, one of them is definitely the holder.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's basically all I've got on that is I've read box rec, and based on numbers, I've made it up predictions. It's not one of my favorite ones.
Anyway, I'm just going to take a question here from Jam. Who do you guys think? What do you guys think to Benavidez moving up to light heavyweight to fight Adam?
Gvozdyk.
Gvozdyk, instead of the Canelo fight as was touted. Well, I don't think he'd a choice because Canelo won't fight him.
Yeah, so
So-
Canelo, basically, there's two sides to this story. So the first one is Canelo wants no part of Benavidez now, but Benavidez it's his fault he hasn't had the Canelo fight already. If we go back,
I'm gonna have to jump, guys.
That's okay.
Sorry,
Thanks
everyone.
for your input.
No hassle. Cheers,
Best
lads.
of luck with the
pleasure to see
training.
you, bud.
See you later.
Going. Keep her
Bye.
lit.
Bye.
Slangafol.
Slán.
When Benavidez lost, so Benavidez has been a two-time WBC champion, and the reason he is a multiple-time champ is he got popped for coke once and he missed weight. When he missed weight, this was when Abney Yildirim got the Canelo fight.
Yeah.
So if he's done that, maybe we don't get the Canelo one now. But I think really Benavidez is done at 168. I think the Andrade fight was the last one, and he was willing to do it for Canelo there. The Gvozdyk-Benavidez fight is one of the best fights.
I
in
love
entire
that
sport.
pronunciation, by the way.
Gvozdyk,
No, but the way you said it was very Polish. Is he Polish?
Ukrainian.
Same. Sorry, neighboring
That's
countries. They're
That's
not
the guy, because that's the guy Beterbiev unified against.
Oh, excellent.
So he's a great fighter, but I think style-wise, I fancy with the time off, I fancy Benavidez in that fight.
Well, you'd imagine Benavidez. It's a calculated risk.
Yeah.
He's not jumping in blind. He's decided this guy is beatable. It was like when Canelo went up and said, "Well, I'll fight Bivol,"
Yeah,
because I won't fight Beterbiev because he'll knock me the fuck out. But Bivol doesn't knock people out. But it was just a bridge too far for our diminutive Mexican.
Gvozdyk is the third best light heavyweight in the world, in my opinion. So that's a really good first fight to take. Better than Yard, better than Buatsi. Gvozdyk's is the third best. He battered Bolotniks in the last fight.
Okay, so who's your 1 and 2, just for clarification?
Beterbiev 1, Bivol 2.
Well,
So
obviously.
Beterbiev, Bivol, Gvozdyk, and then probably some.
So Bivol the last time out wasn't very impressive at all, and Beterbiev just impresses every time he fights.
Yeah. And three belts versus one matters.
Well, yeah, but in the belt world, sometimes it can
not
be
always, not always.
Not
But
always.
The way I like it is he's beaten the champions for both of them.
Oh
But
yeah.
It's a massively really good move, and I think he now knows that he's not getting the Canelo fight, so it's now time to crack on with his career.
I think so too, because Canelo is short. Why people think, oh well, Canelo's off up at light heavyweight now. That was an experiment. He's not a light heavyweight by any stretch of the imagination, and I can't see why a fight with him and Crawford couldn't be arranged.
I don't like the Canelo Crawford fight at all. It's too far, too big. 21 pounds is a mad jump. The fight I want for Canelo, if it's not Benavidez, is the Munguia fight.
Oh, Munguia would be great.
Or Morel. Those are the two I'd like for Canelo. We're not getting the Morel fight, but I like
people. So fighters that begin with M.
Yes. If your name begins with M, I'm quite happy for you to fight Canelo.
That's okay.
Monsieur Ryder.
What?
Monsieur Ryder. That's how that worked.
All right. I thought it was just if you have a British passport, Eddie Hearn will throw in the ring with him. But that seemed to be the case for a while. Now, Jams just jumped on this. He's a small super middleweight. Crawford is too small.
Oh,
we're talking about Canelo.
Yeah.
I think the other Charlo twin. Yeah, well, I think we all agree when you're PPC, it's going to be a Charlo.
Yeah, that's basically
sorry to be too simplistic about it, but that's just, well, it's PPC, so it's going to be.
There was a rumour doing the round it might be Spence, because that's the fight they've wanted for years. They want to do Spence versus Canelo at the Cowboy Stadium.
Oh, yeah, the rematch.
I don't think Canelo fought Spence.
Oh, sorry. I was Crawford there in my head. No, Canelo Spence. Why? But what does that bring? When
Spence is huge in Texas.
Spence is so dispatched.
But this is from pre the Crawford fight. So before the Crawford fight, what they actually wanted to do is take Spence up. Yeah, I think Spence is done. I think for
Spence is done. I mean, Crawford chewed him up and spat him out. I mean, I had Crawford to win, and I didn't to win 6-9, but I was not expecting.
He spent too long at the weight. I'd like to see him come back at 154 or 160. I think there's plenty of fights from there, but he's done at 147.
Yeah, but I mean, he can't go to the upper echelons.
No, but to be fair, the upper echelons at middleweight are not all that. They're not very good. So he might be able to go up. It's
still riskier for a guy who's beaten into a pulp, you know, at a lower weight.
Keep getting a thumbs up for what I'm doing. I'm going to have to run soon as well, my friend.
Yeah, well, I'm going to wind it up now anyway. Yep. But thanks for that very much. Thanks to Luke as well, who had to go off probably to do something very important.
The house.
What?
Get into the house, probably.
Into the house. The big house. Anyway, sorry, I'm watching too much BBC4 Scottish comedy. I'm listening to too much BBC4 Scottish comedy. I'm trying to think of now what the name of the comedy was, but it's The Two Scotsmen or something anyway. But anyway, enough of my get the sponsor in. Yeah, I don't have any sponsors. I don't want any sponsors because that brings responsibility. Great sponsorship comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks very much, Adam. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the boxing this weekend. And Sky, please turn on that fucking fight. Stick it on Sky Sports Action. I'll watch it. Adam will watch it. A rake of boxing fans will watch it. Yeah. Nobody gives a shit about aerobics from Oz at 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay, take care. Sloan.
Peace out.